ẹyẹ àdán àwa náà dáyé bá wọn ni àwọn baba ńlá tiwa náà wọ́n tún dáyé bá ni àdán jẹ́ ní àwọn ìgbà kan àdán kì í ṣe ẹyẹ tó wà ní àárín ìgboro oko inú igi ọ̀pẹ ìrànwọ́ máa ń sòdò mọ́ láyé ìgbà yẹn ṣùgbọ́n gbà tó di pé wọ́n ń gé ọ̀pẹ àwọn gbọ́pẹ̀ lulẹ̀ tó ń fi ń ṣe ọtí àti pé àwọn tí kò ka igi ọ̀pẹ kún tó bẹ̀ sí máa gé wọn òun ló di pé àdán wá ibi tó máa gbé ló fi di pé wọ́n di ẹyẹ ìgboro.
I think over time they've been cohabitating.
Exactly, they have to find, other spaces.
ọjà ṣàpọ̀ntẹ́ rí roundabout inú títì yẹn ní igi ìwà ibi tí mò ń sọ yìí igi ẹ̀ wà láàrin títì láyé igi ẹ̀ náà ń pè ní igi ìṣin láàmì táàmì ẹ̀ ní the past alákì kan wà níbi àyíká but nígbà development tó ń dé àwọn bàbá tí wọ́n ń ta singlet tó ń ta nǹkan kan ibi ìlú gbogbo wọn wà ọjà tẹrí tó wà ní ìṣàpọ̀n ìgbà ìná wà àwọn àdán tẹ̀ ń wò yẹn wọ́n pọ̀ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ́tẹ́ èmi tí mo jẹ́ àgbàlagbà yìí kékeré ni mo ti bá dán yẹn.
Discussing about the issues of restitution. I used to think restitution meant returning artworks. It made a major part. Yeah. But there's now some other component of restitution now that is very deep and that manifests in the kind of work that you're doing. Is the restitution of memory, restitution of ideas. Before now, as black people, as African people, we had a different philosophy about how we took care of our nature. In fact, it is colonial. The concept of ownership of land and the concept of seeing yourself as independent of nature, because it is when you see yourself as independent of nature that you can misuse nature. But if you see yourself as part of nature, you preserve nature.
àdán kì í ṣe nǹkan lẹ́gbin ní ìsìn nígboro yìí láwọn ibi tí igi bá wà gàgà àwọn ilé ògbóni kọ̀ọ̀kan ilé ògbóni ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan tí igi tó ṣe kìíní wà ń bẹ wọ́n máa ń wà ń bẹ kódà ọmọdé lè sọ̀kúta fún kò ní ìbẹ̀rù lára nítorí tó bá yẹ pé ẹ̀yẹ tó ní ìbẹ̀rù lára ni àwọn bàbá àti ọmọ bójú wọ́n máa lé wọn kúrò ní ìgboro ẹ̀ tó kàn ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n máa ń dá ìdọ̀tí lẹ̀ nítorí irú igi tó wà lọ iwájú lọ́kàn bí táwọn èèyàn pọ̀ yẹn irú igi yẹn igi abàdàn yẹn wọ́n máa ń jẹ nígbà kan gbogbo bíi ìgbà tó bá ti jẹ ìdoríkodò ló máa ń wà ibi tó bá jẹun náà máa ń bá pọ̀ oúnjẹ gbogbo lẹ̀ bí wọ́n máa ṣù ká kò ṣe kì í ṣe ẹyẹ tó ń ba nǹkan jẹ́.
Like Igbo cosmology, they have forbidden forest, which means a forest that you cannot even enter, go there and cut tree. There are animals that you cannot kill anyhow, that you cannot touch. These were the ways that we preserved nature. Before Igbo came, I started to say, in order for you to evolve, you need to see yourself as independent of nature. So there are 3 stages of the evolution. The first one is seeing yourself as independent of nature. When you see yourself as independent of nature, you misuse nature.
Yeah.
You treat nature anyhow, right? You start to see land as a commodity. You can fell trees to make way for something. And that's what's happening in African cities now as we develop.
Yeah.
I remember there's a time in Ghana, at this time of the day, we were going to a lounge, and you could tell that the bats were migrating. The sky was so dark, like you could hardly see light, but you could see them covering every space, like it was so beautiful. And man, I'm like, okay, is it too warm for them, or is it too cold for them? Where are they going to? Are they going to another African country? I'm just keep thinking, I felt like we were disturbed. Or probably they're just, you know what? I don't know why are they moving?
Right.
Why are they jackpot?
Exactly. Why are they jackpot?
Yeah. But because you know that birds migrate a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
They migrate a lot, and you be like, why
What's
are they
going on?
moving spaces? But yeah, is it due to threat?
kì í ṣàpàtà kan ló gbé wọn wá igi tó wà ní gbòòrò òun ló gbé wọn wá àwọn abúlé kó wà pàtí kò tẹ̀ sí àpàtà tí ò sí nǹkan kan kún bẹ̀ ibi tó ń sùn yẹn náà máa wà tó jọba ń rọ̀ wọ́n máa lọ́mọ́ra wọn ní irú fáànù ìṣe wáyé wọ́n máa lọ́mọ tẹ́ ò ní rí fáànù yẹn mọ́ ara.
Bójú bá rọ̀ 4-5 days
wọ́n máa lọ́mọ ojú ẹ̀ ò dẹ̀ da wọn kò bá wọn bí torí apá àwọn ẹ̀ka kò bí abẹ̀bẹ̀ ló ti rí omi àwọn máa ṣàn dálé tí ẹ bá mú ọmọ máa ń so ọmọ gbáyà báyìí ní tí wọ́n bá fò ọmọ máa wà ń gbáyà wọn ló ti yẹ àwọn Yorùbá dẹ̀ ní àtọ́lẹ̀dọ́lẹ̀ ní ti àdán tẹ́ bá pa àdán kan nísìn tẹ́ bá la inú ẹ̀ máa bá ọmọ ń bẹ̀ ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ bá ń bẹ̀ yẹn tẹ́ bá tún la inú yẹn náà ẹ̀ máa bọ́ ọmọ ń bẹ̀ ọmọ tẹ́ tún bá yẹn náà tẹ́ bá tún la ẹ̀ máa bọ́ ọmọ ń bẹ̀ Ọlọ́run fún ní ó jẹ́ ẹyẹ tó ní agbára.
àrọ́mọdọ́mọ ní tàdán kò dẹ̀ sí ẹyẹ tó lè torí kodò bí àdán. kí ló máa fi ń ṣe bí òun.
oògùn kan bí ṣe pọ̀ náà wọ́n bí ṣe lẹ́yìn bá ń bẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọmọ ilẹ̀ délẹ̀ níta dàn wọ́n máa ń bí ṣe oògùn alábíàmọ́ à ń bẹ́ lọ́hùn àwọn bí ṣe.
ó dẹ̀ wúlò fún nǹkan àwọn èèyàn náà tó bá mọ̀ pa ìlànà bẹ́ẹ̀ nítorí nínú àwọn ìwúlò ẹ̀ tá a mọ̀ tí obìnrin bá lóyún tó bá lọ ya scan tó bá lọ ya fọ́tò ní hospital tí wọ́n bá ní ọmọ yẹn orí bákan nínú tí kò mórí wá bó ṣe yẹ kó mórí wá ẹ̀yà àdán ẹ̀ wà nínú tó bàbá wa mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀ tán bá fún àwọn kankan tó ń gbóhùn kankan kún tó bá lò. à ń jẹ dídùn yẹn lóye jíjẹ yẹn lómi ni ó ló wọ́pọ̀ ju tẹ́lẹ̀ ọmọ kò sí ohun tí kò wúlò fún kò sí nǹkan tí wọ́n lò wọ́n fún tí kò ṣiṣẹ́ fún ní ọ̀nà èyí tí kálukú bá mọ̀ sí èyí tèmi mọ̀ sí ó ju iye tèmi wí yẹn lọ ṣùgbọ́n ká dá dúró bẹ́ẹ̀ ní ìtò jẹ́ pé ó wúlò fún nílànà tìyẹn ó tún sì lọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
irú àwọn èso tó ń dúró ń jẹ́jú ni èso ọ̀pọ̀tọ̀ èso òkúrọ̀ dọ́wà tó bá jẹ́ ibi tó bá pọ̀ sí ó máa fún bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn nǹkan tí ìwúlò ẹ̀ ló fi wà nìyẹn ìmí tó ń jẹ tó ń gbé lọ tó bá ti jábọ́ síbòmí ó máa fò síbẹ̀.
wọ́n ń jẹ kòkòrò náà.
àwọn ò ní ẹnu ṣọ̀ṣọ̀ èyí náà ni èyí wọn tí ń sin báyìí ni ó ti gé mi jẹ rí nígbà tí bàbá mi yìnbọn dádì mi yìnbọn fún èmi wá mò ń lọ kó wọn bí tí wọ́n jábọ́ sí bó ṣe dèyìn mọ́ mi nìyẹn ó gé mi gan tí mo lọ́gùn gan ṣé mo àwọn bàbá yẹn máa mọ tán máa lò fún yan inú oko náà la wà lẹ́yìn tó gé mi jẹ tán mo tún ṣe roko mi lè rántí bóyá dáadé mi ní gbà o tàbí lọ mú nǹkan báyìí kó lò ó bẹ̀tẹ̀ ó ṣẹ̀jẹ̀ gan mo lọ́gùn gan èyí wọn tíntín báyìí ni ṣùgbọ́n wọn ò lè kọjá bí nísìnyí kan lọ géèyàn jẹ tí orí ohun tó ṣe tá a lọ fi dì mú òní. kò ní kankan ṣe lẹ́gọ̀ọ́ lágọ̀ọ́ ara àwọn náà pọ̀ gan níbí yìí èmi a ti lọ yìnbọn pa wọ́n láì mọ iye gbà tẹ́ bá yìnbọn pa wọ́n kó tó wákàtí kan tó máa padà dé ẹni wọn ò lè mọ pé ìkan lọ ìkan ò lọ.
The second stage is seeing yourself as independent of people, emancipating yourself from people. So your community. So there's no sense of community. African people will work in community. If you needed a land to work, they provided a land. When you grow old, because you've worked, you also got things to sustain you. And the land is passed on to whoever wants to work. People submitted goods and services to the Bale. The Bale keeps it and gives it to the older people, sick people who cannot work. And everybody catered to everybody. So nobody in the community saw themselves as independent of the community. So the second stage of capitalism, it means that you don't feel like hurting them hurt you. So you can now mistreat them when you mistreat nature. Because the first stage is emancipating yourself from nature. Second stage, emancipate yourself from your community. And the third stage is emancipating yourself from yourself. That's the third stage that a lot of people are now.
Yes.
So these were the things. The person that taught us this thing in mentorship class is an architect. So these are the things that even inform architectural practices. You know, the first stage where you see yourself as independent of nature, and you build in a way that does not consider trees or plants or whatnot.
Yeah.
Now let us just build into. It's also now informs how we also treat nature, wildlife, animals,
Yeah.
bats.
Yeah.
And all of these elements are supposed to coexist. So the crazy part is that the capitalist old ideology had good intentions. It's just that the aftermath. Because when they say see yourself as independent of nature, that was how a lot of development was able to happen. Like being able to fix roads. Because if you see yourself as part of nature, it was a little bit savage. That was the narrative. Like people were eating raw food and dying. Like there were diseases you could not treat them. But it evolved and became to be used for evil. Because Africa, we don't see ourselves as independent of nature.
Yeah.
Like you see people sleeping on their farms. Because humans and nature can coexist.
Yeah.
People had incantations that they can use to sleep in the forest and they will not be harmed by wild animals. Right. So the restitution of our ideologies is taking us not to take us back, but to teach us how to take advantage of some of these our ideas that have been stolen from us and exchange with harmful ideologies, like this ideology of separation of the individual from his community. This is why we oppress each other.